that got my respect is the butcher, nigga. Yeah. Cold fucking world. Griselda shit, you know what I mean? You know what it is, nigga. When I show up,
What you coming?
not now. On the night I was born, the rain was pouring, God was crying.
Hey.
Struck, power outage, sparks was flying. A
Oh, yeah.
red one's here, the young boy that walked with
Walk the
lions.
lion.
The outlines of chalk where the corpses lying. The
Oh.
police are trying to revive a sport that's dying. Put the guns in the drug bars, the y'all lying.
Bars, son.
Bro,
Bars.
that's my nominee for verse of the year.
Ooh.
That's
I
probably
heard that. I said I'm playing that next episode, man.
that's verse of the year in my opinion.
Sheesh. I feel like I could listen to that all day long, over and
I
over
guarantee at the end of the year, Spotify will be like, that's in my top 5 songs. I've been playing that like nonstop since I heard it. Like
again.
the
Anyway,
line.
welcome, Underdog, episode 19.
Right.
Dub Nation. Why you shake your head, Drew?
Man, you already know the deal, man.
Don't be mad at me. Be mad at Jimmy Butler for not taking that layup.
I ain't mad at Jimmy Butler at all.
For not taking that layup. You should have waited for the
mad.
layup.
I'm mad at the injury guys. I'm mad at Kyle Lowry. You know who I'm mad at. I ain't worried about nothing. But
it was a hell of a finals, man. I think Golden State figured them out. After that, I kind of told people, man, after game 2, after game 3, I think they were up 2-1. Yeah. And I was like, after that, man, these Boston Celtics ain't winning another game, man.
I mean, we all knew what it was.
Yeah.
We talked about it. So we talked about a pretty in-depth episode with Wale. And
yeah.
When this first started, what did I say? I say Golden State in 6 or Celtics in 7. There's no other way that it ends, just because of how everything, like the team is it's very rare that like a team has that kind of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To like get similar to, well, actually, I'm not really sure the Bulls draft situation in like 93-4 when Jordan was gone. You know what I'm saying? I know they didn't finish atop, but I'm not sure if they got, but like the Warriors, for them to be down for so long, I guess really just the 2 seasons, and to not win or whatever, it put them in a position to get these players and make some moves. And it was just exactly what they needed. It was enough downtime to push the stock forward like a rubber band. You know what I'm saying? Like they had enough time to stretch down, to stretch longer. Because now they got the depth that they would have never had if they would have stayed competitive throughout the entire period of their new dynasty.
Correct.
So it's just the fact that they literally just got exactly what they needed. Looney, Kamega, all the pieces, Poole, they got exactly what they needed. And then Andrew Iguodala just came through and was solid. And it's just like, how lucky can they get? Good organization, good coach. Can't really be mad at them because they were all drafted, all original Mark Jackson, players. It's really a tough situation. That's why I didn't want to deal with this. They are now the 3rd most winning franchise with 7 championships, just past your other half, the Bulls. So yeah, now we got to deal with the Warriors. Being on top again. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for seasons to come. I can't think of the center that's hurt. I'm excited for him to start,
Wiseman.
Wiseman. For him to start back up. And speaking of, just picking the right people, I wanted us to touch on the draft. They selected 3 players that I think is going to be very helpful. I'm interested to see how their game develops. Patrick Baldwin Jr., Ryan Rollins, and Gris Santos. So they probably won't get too much minutes, but I'd like for them to watch Curry and Clay's and Draymond's minutes and let these young guards develop even some more. Because at the end of the day, they are the future. I'm not saying we should hang it up right now and call it a day, but I like to see what they can do. I like to see Kuminga play some more. I like to see can't think of his name right now, but there's a lot of people on that bench. Moses Moody. I like to see him play some more, you know what I'm saying? And see what they can actually bring up. I like to see Poole starting next year, And I'd love for Curry and Clay to embrace coming off the bench, believe it or not, as the defending champions. You know how crazy that would be?
It would just be very circa Spurs. You know what I'm saying? That's some Spurs type stuff. We don't care. And at this point, we don't want so much. We don't care who come off the bench. We all get minutes. It really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like 6 man of the year is such a crazy concept for me, because coming off the bench, like if you come off the bench but you still play like starter minutes, what is the difference?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Explain to me what is the importance of the difference too. So it's like I said, you guys just got exactly who you needed. As far as the draft, man, Magic kind of shocked the world with Paulo Banchero. Shout out to the Blue Devils. I'm gonna be happy to be able to go up the road and watch him develop. As a player. Obviously, I watched him at Duke, so it'll be nice. But he didn't call the Magic. The Magic didn't talk to him. He didn't do a workout for them.
Damn.
He didn't do an interview for them. Like nothing. Agent didn't talk to him, and they selected him first overall. So it was kind of crazy to me because everybody's kind of stuck on Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
Vegas even took a crazy dip. Vegas even took a crazy dip. He was like the favorite, and then at one point you could get in at plus 450 for him to not be. That means you put down $100, you'd have got 450 back for saying that Paulo would have been chosen number one, and he ended up getting. You know what I'm saying? No, that came back up. But you know what I'm saying? Like at one point, nobody was even thinking about it. Everybody was like, oh, Chet Holmgren, the fact that his lifelong teammate plays on the Magic. But I think ultimately the Magic just had too many lengthy players similar to him, Mo Bamba, you know what I'm saying? Like multiple guys that they just went a different way with kind of a guaranteed NBA size, NBA skill guy. He's not the best shooter. He's probably not above 40%, but that'll get better over time. The Thunder actually truly impressed me, man. Getting Chet Holmgren, kind of teaming that up with SGA, trying to revive what they're doing. And I actually found this out. The Thunder have 12 first-round draft picks over the next 3 years.
Wow.
That's insane. Now, I don't think they're going to draft 3 players in the first round 4 players in the first round over the next 3 years, but that's so much draft capital that I feel like they can build around SGA and Chet Holmgren and really kind of put something together. The Thunder might be coming out of nowhere. I'm going to keep my eye on them, definitely. The Pelicans did well. The Heat did well. We got Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I was looking at his game. I'm like, man, this dude really good.
Oh no, he's
pulling
a baller
up from 30.
He's definitely a baller. I want people to really pay attention to him.
Yeah.
Not Nikola Jokic, Nikola Jovic.
Yeah.
Jovic. He's a big Serbian guy. He's very similar to Vladi Jokic, Stojakovic. You know what I'm saying? He's very the in-between forward. Can pretty much play anywhere from 3 to 5, depending on the scheme or the people on the floor. He can really, stretch, do a lot of things. Has a handle, has strength to the hole. He's very good for our team. He's very definitely what we need. When Bam's on the bench, we need somebody, and then we need somebody who can also team up with Bam, kind of have a twin tower forward rotating thing, and let Jimmy be the guard.
Yeah.
Thing is, Jimmy still picks up a lot of small forward duties still. So if he can just be the guard and let kind of the forwards run that thing. Also a little bit of depth. That was the thing. We lost Marcus Morris. You know what I'm saying? So that's another guy that we can kind of rotate due to some of the things. We only had 1 pick in the 27th spot. So who didn't have a good draft? The New York Knicks. I don't know
what they were doing. I was like, what in the world? How you draft somebody, then you trade them away, then you draft somebody else, you trade them away. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, I just don't know. And Sacramento Kings, you know what I'm saying, the first true basketball love I guess I had. Man, they just keep messing it up, and that's why I'm a Heat fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, they let me down when I was a kid, never again. And and he was always cooler, man. Cooler uniforms, cooler players. Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning was always the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those series with the Bulls, great. You know what I'm saying? He used to rival Michael Jordan because remember, I never liked Michael Jordan growing up, for real. I just respected the game. But he used to be on WGN every night. You know how it was in the Midwest? You know what I'm saying? I was more of a bad boy Piston guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because Jordan was Jordan was the rogue. He's the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was on all the time. So it was just like, man, forget this dude. So it was always
kind of the same love people have for LeBron, man. But
yeah, it's similar. Obviously when he played for my team, I love those 4 years, but I love those 4 years outside of one finals.
Speaking of that, one of these Brian Windhorst, he was talking about if Cleveland clears enough cap space, don't be surprised if LeBron ends up going back to Cleveland. I don't think
that's some of the stuff we can talk about. Some of these wild ass moves. They've talked about. I've heard Kevin Love, Kyrie, LeBron, all back in Cleveland.
What?
Yes, I have heard. Because you saw he gave his little wish list.
Yeah, I saw that.
And a lot of them don't really make sense. The only one that does is the Lakers, but the only way they can do that is if he signs for that $6 million unrestricted whatever, and then he'd be eligible for the max the year after that. Or he can exercise his option, stay with the Nets. I think it's like a little under 200, and then he can decline the option with the Nets and then go for full max with the Nets at 248. So it's like he's got options, and I think Kyrie.
But where does that leave KD though, man? If Kyrie
he already said, he came out and said straight up, like, we're gonna see what happens with this Kyrie thing, and then I'm gonna see what happens. And now they're talking about KD might go somewhere. And to think that the Nets did all this and had all this hype, and they might lose Harden, Kyrie, and KD in 6 months.
I don't see KD leaving though. I think it was
no, bro. He straight up said, like, depending on what the Kyrie thing, we're gonna see what happened, and then I'm gonna see what I can do. So
I hear that, but in my opinion, and based off of what I was listening to all week, I feel like Shay, what's his real name again? I can't even think of who that does the show Undisputed with
Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. I want to say Uncle Shay. I'm like, he ain't my uncle. He was talking about how Durant always plays his contract out. He never cheats the company. Like when he was in OKC, his contract was up before he decided to leave. When he was with Golden State, his contract was up before he decided to leave that situation. So even if Kyrie leaves, he was saying he don't think he's gonna leave. And I thought about it to myself, and I'm like, man, that makes perfect sense though. He's never been the type to be like, man, fuck this. I want out. So we'll see though.
Well, I mean, okay, he might not have been under contract, but he did say, forget this, I'm out. And OKC, he did. He said, I can't do this, and joined the team that just beat him, but he was up on 3-1 with his boy, both drafted to the team.
But the contract was over.
Just
I'm just saying.
That's a very, okay, I understand what you're saying.
The contract was over.
But now you see what I'm saying is like he still said, I'm out. He just didn't break a contract, so that might be circumstantial. But yes, he's never not finished out a contract. All right, I wouldn't leave the 73-9 Warriors either, so that's not really a pat on the back either. I stay to the end of my contract with the Warriors too. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like that's a valid argument, but I appreciate Shannon Sharp for at least bringing it up. He's a company man. I've seen Dame Lillard posted him and KD in Trailblazers uniforms on his story. That could be wild because the Blazers are kind of in a similar situation as the Warriors. They're getting players that they never would have got because Dame Lillard keeps them at a certain floor. You know what I mean? So they ended up, getting some people and picking up some stuff and doing some things. Okay. For the Blazers, man, they might mess around. Dame and KD, that's better than Kyrie, KD, in my opinion.
They still gonna lose to the Warriors, but okay.
I mean, but who knows who that attracts though?
You're right.
A lot of players. If Dame KD, I like that. I like that. I don't know if I like it more than KD Kyrie, but it's complementary. Let's say that. It's complementary. It's complementary enough to where, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like any team, and the Celtics almost had it. I'll give them that. Like, no matter how many stars you put on your team, if y'all don't play team basketball, you will not beat the Warriors or any other team that plays team basketball. Like, if it was the Spurs that were in the finals, if y'all don't play team basketball, if y'all like, okay, your turn. All right, now my turn. Okay, now your turn. All right, now my turn.
No, that's not. See, and that's why Kyrie's the problem. In my opinion, Kyrie's the problem because KD's a team. KD don't want to be the big guy. He don't want to be. He really don't. Now, he's not completely selfless like LeBron, Mr. I'll pass, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? There's Ben Simmons scared to dunk, I'm a pass. Then there's LeBron. I literally, since St. Mary's, want to get every player involved because I'm that much of a team player. Like, LeBron is so much of a team player. That's the only reason Kyrie got a championship, in my opinion, because when you play with LeBron, you're forced to be a team player. Nobody's bigger than LeBron. And in my opinion, Kyrie's not bigger than KD, but KD, I don't know. KD's a weird, like, personality type, a personality archetype to work with because, like, he's the best player on the team, but probably easily the best scorer on the team, but he doesn't have to be the star. So that's why it's like, that's why KD can jump around and it works. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing as LeBron, but just different perspectives or, you know, personality types on the floor.
I agree with you.
Because that's what it was. It was like, man, I'm letting Russ shoot too much. Oh, we'll never win this way. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm out. Because I know, because that's what I'm saying. If Andre Iguodala could do it for him, I'm way better than Andre Iguodala. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, so of course I can go to the Warriors.
Well, I feel like he went to the Warriors because he looked over there. I was like, man, he's having fun. They ain't arguing about who gets to take the last shot. They over here slapping each other five on the sideline, laughing it up, sitting out the whole.
They knew what they was doing. They recruited him. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give KD his respect. Obviously, him joining the Warriors was the worst thing that happened in our generation of basketball, even worse than LeBron joining my Heat. But they came after him. It's not like he was like, I mean, Draymond was hitting him up like, bro, you got to come to the squad. You got to come to the squad. And who says that they win those 2 rings if KD don't come to the team? So I still give him his credit. I don't like that he went there. I think it's whack that he went there. But now people are going to say stuff about his legacy because.
And I don't agree with that so much. So, like, every time people are like, bro,
circumstances.
73 and 19. Like, my argument is Skip Bayless left first take, took his talent to Fox.
No,
as a competitor.
it's the fact. No, remember. No.
How
remember,
you have the number one show on one network and leave to go to another network and start your own thing? That's a rival,
bro. Not only were you up 3-1 with your boy, you went to that. No. You went to that team, right? That was 73-9. But that not only were you up on them 3-1, but they just lost. They went 73-9 and lost.
I'll put it to you like this. Okay.
They lost.
You at the rec playing basketball. You've been trying to beat this team that been running game all afternoon long. Y'all get this close to beating them, but somebody hit a 3 and win. And you walking off with your team. They're like, hey, you want to run with us? We just lost our main guy. You leaving your squad, but they ask you to join them. 99% of the time, most people are like, yeah, I'll run with y'all. Even if it means playing against your squad that you showed up to the rec to play with. My point being, yes, the optics looks bad. It looks bad that they beat them the year before. It looks bad that he joined the team.
But then lost to LeBron. That's what I'm saying.
Say that again?
It's one thing. Okay, let's say that And that's why they recruited him, because even though they went 73-9 and still beat KD, they didn't beat LeBron. So that's why they was like, we need KD, because they went 73-9 and lost.
But you know what I think has changed since then, and that's why I brought up the Jimmy Butler point in the beginning. The year that they lost to LeBron, where they were 73-9, they fell in love with the three, and they weren't taking any mid-range shots. When KD joined that team, it's like he made the mid-range shot popular again. They realized that, hey, man, if our threes aren't going in, we can easily take mid-range shots and still get back in the game. It's like they forgot that if I can't hit a three, I can easily pull up for a two and still be good.
Anybody knows.
If you look at this last championship that they won, there were so many games that they could not hit a three. And what did they do? They dominated the mid-range. They dominated the paint. And that's how they kept those games close, and that's how they kept winning. No knock on what KD did. I think if I was him and I was in that position, I would have did the same exact thing. I've been with OKC for how many years? I've watched us not win anything. I'm tired of the conversation whether I'm not great. Let me go prove to the world that if I'm on the right team in the right system, I can win too. And now that I've done what I did in Golden State, now let me go somewhere else and do it too.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to defend KD. I'm basically saying that is why Golden State went and got him, because they was like, even though we beat KD and Russ, we lost to LeBron. If we had KD, we wouldn't lose to LeBron.
Got you.
And what happened? They got KD. They didn't lose to LeBron. So
I guess I'm not really going up against you. I'm more so speaking to the people out there.
No, definitely. But I understand this. It's still messed up what he did, but I'm not knocking.
I can't agree with that,
bro.
I can't say it's messed up. Like the company I'm working with right now, right? The company that I'm working with right now.
The same scenario. No, the same scenario that you said, like playing ball at the rec. It's one thing if it's an every other Saturday game. We can't be in the tournament, in the finals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our team is one series away from going to the finals.
At the end of the day,
we was almost there.
At the end of the day, it's a job, right? It's a job, right?
It is.
Okay, so the company you work for right now.
But we friends.
If the competitor came and said, we'll pay you double and you got to do half the work, you gonna take that job?
If it's you, Bowler.
You know you would.
No.
You would take that job in a heartbeat. Like, I love y'all.
Bro. This ain't you acting. You can't compare a job where there's only 150 starting jobs. There's only
I'll give it to you like jobs. This last comparison I'm gonna make. A show that I'm watching is called Bob Hart's Abishola. Okay, sister been working for the company. They make socks, right? Every time she shoot her idea to her family, they shoot her down. She leaves the family company to go work for a competitor, right? The competitor gives her own assistant. She's making twice as much money as she was making with her company. But she did it because you're not respecting me where I'm at. And that's why KD left.
That's not what happened. They almost went to the finals.
But that's
not what happened.
Don't count. Almost don't count, bro.
Because what you have to understand is when they were recruiting him, he could have said, damn, we almost beat them. I know we can beat them. We almost did it. Let me stick it out. He has a choice. He can go this way or that way.
But that's the thing, though. He's in that locker room. He's been there for years. It'd be different if he just got there. The first year that they made it to the finals against, was it Miami? Or who they play in the finals? OKC that year.
Miami. That's what I'm trying to say.
The first year when they went to the final, if he had done it then, I would be like, all right, man, bro, you ain't giving it enough time.
Not only were they just up on the Warriors, they've already been to the finals, him and Russ.
Correct.
So
and how that
how can you be? So it's not like they were sitting at OKC never winning. They went.
And how many years had passed since they went to the finals,
bro? what, like 4 or 5? Like, come on, it
How
wasn't
that
that
is?
long.
So you
Bro.
wanted to wait another 4 or 5 years?
No, I wanted him to give another 2-3 years to OKC. I'm not saying 4 or 5.
That's what my argument is. It's
He
like,
couldn't even run it back one more time for the sake of we were just in the Western Conference Finals up on these dudes, because once again, that's what I wanted to touch on, is jump shot dependent. Teams are still jump shot dependent. That's why the Warriors needed Poole and all these younger athletes to do all of the hard work that actually needs to be done to win basketball games, so that Clay and they can sit back and shoot and finesse, and Draymond can run around and throw his temper tantrums. So once again, it's still about rebounding and defense and physicality. So jump shot dependent teams be losing games, and that's what you were talking about, is that the Warriors were starting to lose games because they were being too jump shot dependent. So I agree with everything, but I'm just saying you can't have it both ways. It's a choice, because if he chooses to stay and then they're like, oh shit.
but here's my point though. Whenever a player decides his fate, he's like, man, why you ain't take one for the team, man? How you gonna leave your brothers hanging like that? But these teams, these GMs, these owners will trade you in a heartbeat and not blink twice. What you guys say? Oh man, he gone. They did it to your boy. You remember when Dwayne Wade got traded and he couldn't believe it?
Shouldn't have
Got
left.
traded to Chicago.
I don't know if he got traded. He left.
He did.
He wanted to go
got
home.
traded.
He wanted to go home. I don't know why. His baby mama crazy. That's why he left.
I couldn't believe it when that happened, man. I don't know the facts, the story behind it, but I'm pretty sure he got traded back then.
Well,
but my point is, though, these teams and these GMs, these organizations do it all the time to players. But the moment a player decides, I'm going to go play over here, people disrespect it. But we can go on and on all night, man. We ain't going to see eye to eye on this one. We can keep on moving. Let's finish this pot out.
The only time he was ever traded was when he got traded back to the Heat from the Cavs. So he didn't get traded to Chicago, which is what I thought, because I was so mad that he left. He chose to leave. Another one. Oh, Dwayne Wade never not played out his contract, but he chose to go to Chicago, and it was a waste of years. There was an Eastern Conference Finals we could have used him for. So no, it's like I said, what people do, it's fine, bro. It happens in life. Sometimes you have to be selfish, but it's still a little bit, I wanted to do what's best for me. All right, cool, but it's a team sport. So once again, it's counterproductive. It's better for your pockets. And yeah, that's cool. I get that. But you also have to deal with the fact that it's not, you know what I mean? You can't have it both ways.
And on that note,
a little backlash. That's it.
After that, on that note, let's talk a little bit about Cruz.
Man, this guy is crazy. He's just a crazy good athlete, man. Baseball, obviously, the number of blacks in baseball has been down over the past 10, 15 years. Pretty bad. But yeah, we have a superior athlete in my boy, Cruz. He's a Pittsburgh Pirates. He actually threw the fastest pass, or the fastest ball, fielded the ball to first base. He threw like 97 miles an hour. Like, he threw an absolute heater.
Damn.
The first base out of the shortstop position, and he hit for like 4 RBIs and had like 7 RBIs in his first 2 games as a rookie. Like, he's an amazing talent. He's just somebody to watch, and definitely a true underdog. So we definitely wanted to make sure we highlighted him.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can check out all those clips. It's all over MLB's Instagram and stuff like that over the past week. So definitely check them out. Britney Griner, man. Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, man. I heard somebody interviewing, I guess, the spokesperson for Putin, and they were asking if she was, a pawn during this war. Like, are they gonna release her? And his response was, well, I think it was an interview that they played on the Breakfast Club. That's where I heard it, but it was somebody from ABC News interviewing the representative of Putin. And he was basically like, well, she broke a law, and she's got an answer to that. But I think that they're literally going to wait to see who they want the U.S. to release, to get her released, So hopefully the people in power will do something fast about it. Prayers go out to her, but again, it goes back to if they paid women more, the way that they pay men in these leagues, then there would be no reason for any of our players to want to travel internationally so they can provide for their families. You know? And I'll just leave it at that, bro.
Yeah, definitely post-pandemic as well. Rob Gronkowski hanging up his cleats for the second time.
Really? He's not coming back to play for Tom Brady?
I mean, his agent said never say never. We all know what this means. He's only 33. I don't put anything past anybody. Tom Brady just did a fake retirement for 41 days. So wouldn't be surprised. He's been seen working out at the facility, but he's not under contract. He's not, because the last situation he retired because of some contract stuff because he didn't want to go play for the Lions. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, apparently some people call him the greatest tight end of all time. He doesn't have some of the records, but he does have 4 Super Bowl rings. So some people he's definitely one of the greatest. But yeah, some people refer to him as the greatest. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but Tony Gonzalez, I think, just because will always be number one. But you never know. Travis Kelce might also pass some of that stuff, and especially if we can get some more rings on that finger. You never know. But yeah, he's supposedly done, and definitely a blow to the Bucks. They've lost some players, and definitely they're losing probably top 5. Easily top 5 quarterback tight end combo all time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the Bucks are losing that. Definitely makes their journey a little bit difficult, but the NFC is not as stacked once again. So they're still pretty poised to still probably get those 12 wins, you know what I'm saying, to get them in the right spot. So other than that, we'll spend a little bit more time talking about probably the more serious thing. And then we'll actually get back to Tom Brady after we pay some bills. But Roe versus Wade.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. We'll do this real quick. Gold Standard Farms. Again, they want you to know who they are. Martin, Tennessee since 1941. Gold Standard Farms, LLC is a boutique hemp farm specializing in organic hemp cultivation, seed genetics, R&D, and eco-friendly hemp-based materials. Gold Standard Farms. And for more information, contact Carson. Bowler, hit him with the email.
Carson at goldstandardfarms.com.
Big facts, big facts.
Arson.
It's like I said, we will get back to Tom Brady, but yeah, we want to touch on Roe versus Wade. Apparently, Supreme Court has voted to overturn Roe versus Wade. I'm not sure of the exact circumstances or everything, but this is the case that is because I don't really know how to talk about it, because as far as I'm concerned, it's a right, and it's something that should be, you know what I'm saying, so natural. So I don't really know how to articulate.
I think their justification, from my understanding, is the government or the federal government shouldn't be involved in state issues. And the fact that this is an issue that started on the state level, basically they're saying the decision for the Supreme Court back in the day to make this a federal issue was wrong, and therefore should be redacted.
So now that's why it's back to the state thing.
Right, okay. Back to the states. And each individual state should be able to make their own decision on what happens, which I think is totally wrong. The fact that the states have that much power, then it should be on the state's decision whether or not we pay taxes to the federal government too. If you really want to get as technical as that, you know what I'm saying? It should be a state by state decision whether or not we decide to pay it to the federal government. Each state should be its own entity, and we shouldn't be answering to anybody but the state. If you guys want to go that route, I think this is utterly and totally ridiculous. I think it's gone as far as to say some women can't even get their tubes tied with this rule that just got put in place, and to force women to see a pregnancy to term, and then after the baby's here, there's no care for the baby. There's nothing the government is doing to help see that the children are okay. It's just bullshit, man.
Man, it's like I said, to me, in my mind, in my way of thinking, and obviously I don't have any kids of my own, so I guess that's why, you know what I'm saying, it's hard for me to kind of, like you said, paint that technical picture. because I'm just more of I've just always thought that like, why why would a woman ever not have the right to say, I don't want to have a child? I feel like that is a right reserved for the ones of us, and by that I mean women, because they are responsible for carrying the child. So to me, it doesn't make any sense at all why it's even an issue in the first place. But things are the way they are, and I do think that it's a regression in the culture. You feel me? Like, what's
Yeah.
next? You and me can't get on the bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's next? Like, it's just that's not a good thing. Now that it is on a state level, though, from my understanding, I think now what it is basically we're just gonna have a situation because some of the states already had laws in place for if this ever happened. So I think some of them, I forgot what the term was. It was like catch or it was some to a term to where like they have stuff in place already for this, for if it happened. And what's going to happen is you're going to have people traveling to certain states and places to get stuff done. And then there's going to be different rules in different places based on the length of time. And you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's going to be more of a state by state thing. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but the game has changed. If the game.
And I mean, shout out to the DAs, especially the women DAs across the world or the country, I should say, that are saying if any of these cases come to their desk, they will not prosecute. So big ups to them. But again, my heart goes out to women who are now forced to have to decide whether or not they got to travel 8, 10, 12, 14 hours just to go get a abortion because they can't in their home states.
Yeah,
and especially for communities that can't even afford food, let alone gas right now. You're asking them to risk going somewhere else and having to get a hotel and having to pay for transportation just to stop.
Well, we could have a deeper conversation about that, but I feel like that would be for a different podcast because as far as I'm concerned, when you stuff like that is, I saw a number that says something that like it was a number talking about worldwide abortions per month, just like worldwide, and they were trying to say that to try to make the number look bad. You know what I'm saying? To say like, oh, we need to reduce the number of abortions, but what people don't realize is whether it's health, medical, or whatever the complications are, there's potentially that many more people that are now going to be born on this planet every month. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to, or at least, in America or whatever, they're trying to compare the numbers. So it's just like, that's how many more people we're going to have in the country if they change those rules. So it's like, I think that they just want to create more dependence. They want to create more mouths to feed. They want to increase the wealth gap. They're not done yet. You know what I mean? Like, so, but that's a deeper conversation. It's pretty simple to me. They should have that right. They're the ones responsible for it. I mean, two people are responsible, but you know what I'm saying? Like I could try, I mean, outside of, no judgment to anybody, crazy medical stuff you see on TV or stories and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll never know what that is. You know what I'm saying? That's not what, you know what I'm saying? I'm a male. So it's a great responsibility, you know what I'm saying, to create life. And I feel like they should have that decision. It's very stressful on the body, man. 40 weeks. It's a long time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I, as a man, don't have to deal with that. So if a woman says that she doesn't want to deal with it, I feel like she should have say. It's, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the last thing I'll say about it is shame on those doctors and those clinics who had patients in their waiting room already and were ready to get their abortion, but because the decision was delivered, it's effective immediately, and you can no longer see the patients that are already in your waiting room, or you can no longer see the patients that are on their way. When there's a clinic in Mississippi, a Planned Parenthood, that still gets to be open 10 days after this decision has been released, and they're still seeing patients. I just think some people take the law so literal sometimes. It's just unfathomable.
I thought that stuff like that is not, like it's after certain terms and time periods. Normally, I don't think that that's something that just,
but they were interviewing so many of these doctors that worked admitting that some of them had patients in their waiting room. And because the decision was announced, they could no longer give abortions to the women that were waiting to get them. Or they had to turn patients away from coming into their office that day because the decision was announced.
I can't, bro.
You guys are just overachievers. You want a gold star? You know what I'm saying?
I was the first one. I was the first one to turn somebody down. Now, I do agree. It shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like, there shouldn't be a drive-through for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, people should just be allowed to be as irresponsible as possible. You could just, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, like, there are plenty of reasons, you know what I'm saying, where somebody could want to, need to, choose to, like, there's a million, you know what I mean? So it should be their choice. It's so awkward to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, it should be basic human understanding that they should have the right to have a child or not.
And with that said, let's talk about Tom Brady and the show.
This is a special take him to church, man.
Take him to church, Drew.
Congregation, please open your hymnals to page 12, because we're about to talk about everybody's favorite supposed Billy Goat. It's crazy just to me that everything that I've told y'all about this show or on this show about the whole Miami Tom situation turned out to actually be true. Like, he was asked about it in interviews, other people have been asked about it, things have come up, and it's crazy because, like, we do a very small time operation here, hoping to grow it larger, but like, even on larger stations and stuff like that, like, I've only heard maybe 3 people talk about it. One was Nick Wright, another one was Dan Lebertard, a legendary beat writer out of Miami, Dan Lebertard. Nobody's really talking about it. And you think that, like, the supposed GOAT who retired his way out of having to deal with the drama that is the Miami situation, to unretire, to come back to the Bucks, get his way, get a coach fired, like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the stuff happening, and the fact that he was gonna go to Miami and be the first ever owner player, like, that is what he was, you know what I'm saying? He didn't deny that. They were like, oh, well, he was like, well, when you have options and interest and you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, wow. And just nobody's really talking about it. And I just feel like this is a big deal. Like, it's not always just what's on the field, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there are situations that dictate and move and orchestrate all the stuff that y'all see. And it's like, you do have to dig deep. And it's just like a little pat on myself, pat on the back to myself too, for, you know what I'm saying, staying up to date on it and being in on that, because it's like, this is what I was trying to tell people. Another part of that is that it also came out that Sean Payton, that's why he left the Saints. Apparently he was going to go over and be the coach of the Dolphins for $100 million, 5 years, like a John Gruden deal. So it was going to be Sean Payton, Tom Brady, Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be, this is what was going on. So it's just
I wonder if the league is going to punish him. Probably not.
No, I mean, I don't think it's a punishable
There's no collusion.
thing. I don't think that it's a punishable thing, but I just think it's the fact that nobody's talking about it. And you think that it would be a very important story, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That the greatest quarterback of all time, who just came off a Super Bowl, didn't like Bruce Arians, was mad about, you know what I'm saying, wanted to switch up, wanted more control, wanted to do this, wanted to do that. And I mean, that's fine, but it's just like nobody's really talking about it. They're trying to cover it up. Bruce Arians trying to act like he's an advocate for the Rooney Rule. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm giving Todd Bowles a shot. Bro, you just got there. You're not some Bucks great. You're not some Bucks legend. You know what I'm saying? You was the coach of the Cardinals, dog. So it's like, how could you even try to sell us that? You know what I mean? And it's just like, and no disrespect to Todd Bowles, he actually deserves that spot. You know what I'm saying? He was the former coach of the Jets, and I feel like he's earned another spot. You know what I'm saying? But like 5-year deal with not that much coaching experience, that sounds like a situation where Tom Brady's kind of in control. And especially with Byron Leftwich, the same former quarterback who's the offensive coordinator from last year, and he didn't get a job either, so he's back. So and you already know if Tom has played in your era and he was better than you think he's honestly finna listen to you? I mean, yeah, him and Byron probably cool, but he probably make them decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of them situations that I'm saying. It's just like people don't talk about what they should be talking about. It's simply about winning. It's simply about man.
No, it's not.
Nah, bro. People be out here doing all kinds of stuff. So we'll see if you know what I'm saying, Brady and friends can do it again. That's what we'll be trying to see. But other than that, we just want to make sure that you can take in a church out here. Let the church say amen.
Amen. Amen. And with that said, that'll be our last episode for this season. Of course, if there's some breaking news, we'll tap back in. But we'll have to see you guys when the football season starts. In August, you said?
Yeah. Preseason gonna be rolling around in August. It's like I said, we're gonna make sure anything that does pop off, if we got enough material to put together for y'all, but we're gonna take a little break, make some changes to it, improvements. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna take that time to make sure that y'all know that we're real about this craft and we're real about the stuff we're trying to bring to y'all. So, take a little downtime, and we'll be right back at you ready for football. Shorter preseason, we got 17 games, so football starts a little bit earlier than usual, but we'll be right back with y'all, man.
Yes, sir. And on that note, some more my bad.
Got these nerves thinking that you niggas hard as iron. That just mean I ain't as comfortable as y'all with lying. Stretching the truth. No, I never stress in a booth. They feel the pressure. Me, I feel like I just left them a suit.
Hey.
I'm skating on these records. Favorite rapper neck in the news. Letting them loose. Cold world, the heater blast in your speaker. He the last of Mohicans. No weakness last in my sneakers. Nigga want me on the song. He gon' see the wrath of the reaper. I'm probably gonna go to hell if Jesus asked for a feature. I'm higher than niggas. It don't need a bag full of reefer. Some see the glass is empty. I see a glass full of ether. Collecting his bread and mash like he a Catholic preacher. Just to count a nigga cash, you might need a calculus teacher. Eureka, Einstein on the brink of the theory of relativity. Really no MC equal. Feel me coping.
That's that. That's the one. That's the one. Verse of the fucking year. That's the one.